Up to this point, using Google Docs doesn't seem that different than using any other word processing program. So you may be wondering, why all the excitement about Google Docs? Well, the excitement doesn't come from the ability to type or format your text. Yeah, that can be done in a lot of places. The excitement comes from the ability to share and collaborate on documents so easily when all of these documents are stored inside our Google Drive. So that's what I want to look at in this brief video. First, now that I'm working on this sample text document, I would like to share it with some people. So I can come up to the big blue share button here. Let's click on that, and I will have some options. One option is I can just type in some email addresses right here, and I can share with some people. So I'm going to add one of my personal email addresses here. I can share it with myself, and I can now choose, will that person be an editor? Can they also make changes to the document? Will they be just a viewer? I want them to read it, but I don't want them to make any changes. Or maybe they can be a commenter. I want them to look at it and leave me comments and suggestions about ways to improve it, but I don't want them to change the original text. I can type a message to them and let them know all of these things. Hey, I'm sharing this with you. I would love your feedback, particularly on the part about formatting text. And I could send. Rather than typing in an address of 1 or 2 or 3 people, I can come down and get a link. Just a link that I would send them in an email and say, here, take a look at this. So right now, only people that I add. So if I had typed in a name up here and added them, I could also send them a link and say, here's a link to this document, go comment on it. But that's really doing the same thing twice. What I can do is I can click here and I have options. I can change and make it so that this link would work for anyone that has a correct email address. For example, this is how we do our morning attendance. It goes out in a bulk email to everyone at River Street. But if you try to open it and look at the attendance with your personal Gmail, it won't let you in. I can change it so that it's restricted. That takes it back to only the people that I add. Or I can really open it up and say, anyone I send this link to can see the document, or can comment on the document, or can even edit the document. So those are my choices. So what I do want to do is I want to share it with myself, and I'm going to make myself a commenter, and I'm going to send it to myself. Yes, because that's outside of Crec. It prompts me, do I really want to do that? Yes, I do want to do that. So now it's shared with myself. So I'm going to bring up my personal account. Here's the document that I've shared with myself. And I'm going to click right here and suggest that we make a change. So I would put my cursor there, click the comment box, click comment, and say, I think you could explain this better. And leave that comment. Now, back in my other account, as I'm looking on it, I can see that someone's left me a comment. I can see what they were talking about. They were talking about this sentence right here, and they think I could explain that better. I could reply to them and say, thanks for the suggestion, I've made changes, blah, blah, blah. I can also, once I've dealt with this and I don't want to see this comment anymore, I can click as resolved and it goes away. Back over here, let's say there's a group of people all working on this document together, and I want to bring one person's attention to this. That's where I would say at eharden@crec.org. I'm assigning it there. And then I would leave my comment and assign. Now, back on the original document, the comment here looks the same. It's specific that it's been tasked to me, not to one of the other members of the group working on the document. But because it was assigned to me, I also got an email that said, someone has left a comment on this document for you. And there will be a link that will bring me right to this document. So it's easy for people to work back and forth, collaborating on the same document, even though they're not online at the same time. You can send those comments back and forth to each other. And it's a great way to quickly have a group of people review a document, make suggestions, and come up with your final draft. So, sharing, collaborating, commenting, that's the power of Google Docs. That's where you really start to pull together the team working together on one document. Hopefully that will help you in using Google Docs.